Week here, Monday, February 24th on lichess and Twitch. International Master William Paschall. We are streaming live for 2.5 hours here, playing Blitz and Rapid Chess, 5-3 through 7+3 if you like the challenge. We're going to play a warm-up game or two. Before we get down to business with the subscribers and friends, let me see. Not many challenges filling my formula here. There's a perfect challenge, 5+3. So I'm not very awake. It's a little later though. It's nice starting at 11 o'clock rather than 10. Last week I had to do some streams at 10 a.m. Last week was tough because I was playing and it was difficult. I had to prepare for some games. This red T opening, it just doesn't really offer white enough. I really have to start playing like strictly e4 and d4. It feels like. Good morning. Welcome. You found your Halloween candy. Acerbate went trick-or-treating. A little late. Alright. Too many gummy bears. That was the sickest I ever got from candy, I think. Eating a large quantity of gummy bears. What's up, Mr. DK guy? I haven't had time to really go over any of the games from yesterday in the simul. Some interesting games. What are we supposed to do when they give up the center like this? Normally black would play like c5. He wants to play e5 now. If I play d4, black can try to get counterplay with c5, I guess. I don't really know if it's better to play d4 or just let him play e5. Difficult decisions. Our opponent is making almost instantaneous moves here. In this warm-up game, spell check, Blitz and rapid challenges. It's not me. Scared me there, Jim. I thought we had a spell check issue. I like black setup suddenly. M. Nadim from Afghanistan. He's wasted like 2 or 3 tempi, but black's position seems okay. Nevertheless. I don't like this when people are able to play like the entire game without thinking. Especially when they're much lower rated. Bothers me. But it comes to my attention slowly that it's really, really easy to kind of make it look like you know what you're doing. Even when you don't. Almost imitate playing chess. People that play like this without using any time. You know, I was watching some of the team members in my Budapest team championship where the average rating is fairly low. Yesterday, for example, one of our lower boards, the team we faced yesterday was extremely, extremely weak. The weakest team, one of the weakest teams in our division. And, I mean, frankly, this guy is just unbelievable fast. We had like a board where our team member was 1900 and the other player was like 1400. And it took like 40 moves for the 1900 to beat the 1400. I mean, I thought that was pretty amazing, you know. You just assumed that there'd be a massive difference in strength between someone who's 1400 and 1900, but it's just amazing. So black continues to play almost instantaneous moves, and well. It's a good thing I'm paranoid. He's 2,000 rapid. That's respectable. You know, around 2,000 rapid classical makes you think this is a really strong player, and then you see the extremely low bullet rating, and the blitz rating, which is lower, and I misjudged him. But the funny part is, I mean, he's like 2,000 in the longer time controls, right? And then lower in the faster time controls. Yet he's playing super fast. That doesn't make sense. If you were better at the longer time controls, you wouldn't be good at moving fast. But I don't know. Too much analysis. I know. Think too much. Bad for your health. No brain, no pain. I'm too much of a perfectionist, I guess. He's just structurally better. We have some compensation. Right, but if you were better in slow time controls, how the hell is he blitzing me like with instantaneous moves, you know? That's what I don't get. Like, he just fires out a move. He never spends more than 5 seconds on a move, yet he's like 1,600 in bullet. I don't know. Another nasty move. Damn. Whoops. Better be careful. This almost wins material by force. The heck? What heck? And maybe I'm not paranoid. Okay, that's insane. Like, after bishop a5, I have serious problems. And he plays bishop e7. Wow. I mean, a masterful game by black to gain an advantage here. And then he just spoils it all with one quick move. I mean, his appreciation for pawn structure at this level is very, very rare. And moves just keep firing. He did miss that almost winning move. I mean, come on. This guy is extremely good. Not too many people at 1800 in Blitz here would have such appreciation for maintaining his perfect pawn structure the whole game. Gives me a little space, yeah. White's just slightly worse structurally. I mean, what can you say? He's far too insanely good for this rating. That's like the second... I can't even say that's a bad move, actually. Nearly lost here. And just outplayed on time, on position. And give me a break, dude. If this guy goes sudden death, he would like crush me like a dog. Surprised he didn't go for knight g4 trying to win a pawn there. Yeah, I mean, this guy is pretty much unbelievable. He studied with Bin Laden. Maybe he needed something to do. All that time on their hands. But the speed for me is the most weird thing. I mean, if this guy is really weaker at Blitz and Bullet, why would he be so fast? It doesn't make sense. That's illogical. He's got 2.5 minutes. It's like he's trolling me or something. Oh, there it goes. Situation. Yeah, it's pretty unbelievable. I mean, dude. This is an unreal game by this guy. First of all, I played the opening like ridiculously. And now he starts to play. Black's just better. And then for some reason he doesn't play bishop a5 here. It's almost like he was like mixing in engine moves with human moves. I don't know, man. That was a really weird game. All right, not a very encouraging start. Arsenal fan, what are you talking about, dude? Are you going to adjudicate the position for us? It's probably not winning for black. I have access to these pawns here. I doubt it, actually. But there's not that many pawns left. I doubt this is a win for black. Black is better. Black is a pawn up, but I don't think he played perfectly. All right. Dude, he's 600 rating points lower. Of course he's happy with a draw. What are you talking about? I mean, he's supposed to be 1800. Any normal player would have been intimidated to begin with. Not like you. Yeah, but you've played me like 100 times. Like when you've played someone 100 times, there's no intimidation at all. You know, you're not fearful because you think that you're a grandmaster or something. I mean, you're overconfident by nature, but it's usual for people who are like 600 points lower to give draws to higher rated players. One of my students who's like 2000 just yesterday offered a draw or a repetition of position against a player who was like 300 points higher in a totally winning position. I did it myself. Everybody does it except for you. You're the only person in the world who doesn't respect the higher rated player and give them draws and winning positions. I think. Probably. But no, it's not a winning position. He also has probably not much confidence in his endgame. I was going to walk in and take his queenside pawns with like king d5, king c6, king takes b5, king takes c4 or whatever. It's actually possible to even lose that position for black in the knight endgame if you're not confident in what you're doing. But the engine gave it like 1.5, which is probably not winning. I'm not surprised, actually. But I mean, the whole game was super weird. And I'm not just paranoid. You can't trust anybody these days. I gotta stop looking at people's bullet ratings. I think they should just take it off. But the weird thing was the guy was 1800 in Blitz and then like 2000 in Classical. It's my turn. What happened to my opening event? What is this? Seriously. What are we playing here? A6. Can I let you do that? Just equalize? Yeah, I'm not in a good mental state. I was supposed to take the subscribers first. I don't know what I'm doing. I should have played Arsenal fan and DK. I don't know why I'm playing Stefanos Kappa, who's not even a subscriber. Alright. Sorry guys, for those of you who are subscribers, I shouldn't take this challenge. But I wasn't paying attention. I'm usually pretty foggy-headed this early in the morning. Yeah, I mean, I think that the guy's play was stylistically, time use, way too good for that. Not just like the way he played, how good it was, but his style of play. How conservative he was with his pawn structure. I mean, damn. You'd be 2100 easy playing like that on lichess and Blitz. He would easily be 2100 in Blitz with that speed and that positional style. It doesn't make sense. Another problem is that people, I think, use, probably the reason is like people just use like multiple people use the same account, you know. Likely it could even be like someone's house or something where there's like 3 or 4 different players. You never know who you're playing. I mean, what if one person who plays in the account is like 1500 and another one is like 2200? Then you're left wondering, how strong? We've been playing a bullet tournament. I have 0 bullet games. Yesterday, Jim. Hi, Jim, what's up? Yesterday, Bob, obviously not Jim, Bob challenged me to a bullet game. But bullet chess makes me feel dirty. I have 0 bullet games. And back in the day, like on the Internet Chess Club, I had bullet games. When I was bored, I would occasionally, especially play 2-minute. I remember at some point, like, I'm guilty of playing even 1 minute chess just for laughs, but my principle is not to play anything faster than 2 minute. I don't even play 2 minute anymore. Another like fantastic conservative game by my opponent. Do we have anything here? Super rock. I mean, I could be crying the same way about this opponent like the last one. Exactly the same ratings. But he's got a more reasonable Blitz rating, around the same as his Rapid and Classical. Not 1800, but 1900. Once I played in Reno, there was prize money. Imagine that. Shocking. A prize tournament where someone cheated. The backward c-pawn open file. What backward c-pawn? The backward c-pawn that won't exist for much longer. Black's completely fine here. Unless I can really stop it, but I doubt that I can. That's what I'm talking about. Total positional understanding. 1900. No weaknesses, no unnecessary moves, no loss of time, no mistakes. Period. Yesterday my team, our like 10th board was 1900, his opponent was 1600. He should have lost. He was like down a rook and won the game. It was board 10. I said was another one that was like 1800. It was an old man. He was 1400. The guy barely beat the old man who was 1400. 500 point rating difference or 400 point rating difference. It should be like you win like 99 out of 100 games. I can't understand how people can be like 1400 and play really good chess. You know, how can you be 1400 and then play really well? Why would your rating be 1400? You know, if you could play really well, it doesn't make sense. You know, I don't get it. I put a lot of faith in things like rating, statistics. See, this is the problem. Now I have nothing. Nothing. Zero. Less than nothing. It's essentially a perfect game by Black. Except for the fact that I won a pawn. Wait, I'm actually winning a pawn. I don't know if I can hold on to it. Maybe f5 was necessary. It's really not that bad for Black. Oh, there it goes, the pawn. I was going to lose it anyway. I can't hold it. I don't think I can maintain that pawn. Right. 1300 should be hanging pieces. That's what they do. This is like a virtually perfect game by Black. Strategically beautiful the way they executed c5 as a temporary pawn sacrifice. Now, finally, some sort of mistake. I don't think knight e4 was necessary. He just drops a pawn. Good to see Zen chess after a long time. But it reminds me of what I was talking about. I'm just surprised by ratings and people's abilities to... Is there a trap here? I mean, knight takes b4. I'm going to have doubled b pawns. I mean, do I really want that? Not clear. a5? 5 doesn't really help me. Even now he's hanging on. Christ. Double b pawns. Nice. Saw that too. What? Why would you exchange knights? You obviously can't exchange knights. That's ridiculous. It just automatically loses. Damn, I mean, the opening was master level the whole game. Look at this a6 variation. I don't even know what I'm supposed to do here. This is brilliant. Black just equalized in like 5 moves. A6 in this position. Just, I have to do like what? No clue. It's like I have no advantage after 5 moves. Yeah, you have to play f5 here. That's the best move. Black is fine. We get trolls. That happens on the internet. A6 was a good move. It's a kind of system, but I'm seeing it more often like d4, d5, knight c3, knight f6, bishop g5, bishop e7, e3, maybe here. See, after castles. Maybe after castles a move later, like a6. Quite frequently played here. This same guy, Milutinovic, the Serbian, he's renowned for playing a lot of weird stuff. He was really big on the Chigorin for a long time. Guess he's moved on. Alright, next game, subscriber challenges. Arsenal fan, DK guy, Imre, and Zen Chess. Unfortunately, Morwa is not a subscriber. He'll have to wait. I don't know. I don't think I played it very well, actually. When black played a6, I went into autopilot, and I should really think about that position more. I think I completely failed, actually, in the opening to gain any kind of advantage. I have to sit there and think on a6. I wasn't threatening b5, just so you know. Speaking of autopilot. All right. What are we going to do? It's a cross between the modern system, and the Caracal. The Gurgenidze. Blurgle. Bishop d3. Okay. Interesting move. What happens if I played c5? Feels like the d4 pawn isn't well covered. Yeah, I could probably take it. I played a lot of tournament games in the last week and a half, and I really thought I would play better, but the simul didn't feel like I didn't feel strengthened yesterday, and I don't feel strengthened in Blitz at all. Welcome to the stream, guys. Please support the stream and donate. Also, check out my YouTube channel. We are going to get to working on the YouTube channel. All right, Bishop f4. Reminds me of a game I played myself once with white. Maintain. Screw it. You're going to have to prove this to me. Similar to Astrobate, Arsenal Fan is a little bit too intuition based, I think. He had this though. I take back which way. I don't think the g5 is necessarily a bad thing. Why am I slower than everyone that I play? Actually, I just played in an IM tournament, and the kid who did the best was the player who used the most time. I thought that was impressive. Everyone I encounter here at lichess is blitzing and playing too fast and trying to play bullet chess, and it's rewarding to see someone who actually thinks have a successful tournament. You know, that my theory that the thinking is actually good for your chess game is validated. That's the horrifying move. Bishop takes b8. The dark squared bishop, just give it up. Seems like a horrible concession for white. Black's like clearly better. can even play f5 here. That seems a bit over the top, though. h5 is interesting. That'll let him into f7. I've got to be very careful, though, here. I think black is clearly better, but... f5 is interesting. I mean, Arsenal basically playing like the time control was 3-0. Your pace is perfect for 3+0. But I think you have to make adjustments for the time control. Why are you playing so fast? You already have like a clear disadvantage. One thing, people get stuck in just playing one time control, so they can't change gears. Maybe he was playing like 3-0 the last 2 days. I had the trouble adjusting even between 5+3 and 7+3. If I start playing 7+3, then the 5+3, I'm playing too slow. But if you play bullet, I don't know. It's very detrimental to your time use. And it'll make you play faster, but more superficially. Unless you can somehow compartmentalize everything. You know, like bullet is bullet, and that's just bullet, and you don't mix that speed with other speeds that you play. It's hard to do, but feasible. This was the one move I was thinking about as a serious contender. We have a lot of options, though. f4. Almost trap a knight on h4 in some lines. Uber Driver, you're still talking about the last game? Oh, I missed some comments. Sorry, I missed a lot. For some reason, it's not. It's the auto scroll was off, so I'm missing like the last 20 comments you guys sent in. Bishop f8, bishop b4. A little late for that. That's the Gurganidze. Watching you two GMs playing secretly. What are you talking about? h5. YouTube GMs. That should be a new title they could come up with. He's a YouTube GM. Yeah, like, that's the worst move, h5. The knight's best square. Well, I needed a place to put my king. At the moment. But you're right. It's just that my knight guards e5. It's a massive hole in my position. So I think it has to stay there. Wow. Yeah, I mean, knight d6 is a great square for the knight. That's true. But if I move my king to another square like d8 or something, I'd be facing a knight on e5 right now, probably. c4 is radical. Dangerous for both sides. Looks like I'm just getting crushed now. We'll have to lose a pawn or something at the very minimum. That's a weird move. b3. Not what I expected. Man, it's crazy. Oh, I just dropped a piece. Wow. Let's see what I can do. But I was under constant pressure, Jim. Like, you make it sound like it was easy. He had constant pressure on me, like the whole game with 2 minutes more. Yeah, I was careless, but I'm constantly under fire here. He's got a threat every single move, virtually. And then he's twice as fast as me. Just like rapid fire machine gun moves. It's unbelievable. I don't know what I can do. Wow, what a move to find. It's like he's almost pre-moving. Where are these moves coming from? Instantaneously. His bullet rating is 1900. Look where these moves come from. Easy win for white. Unbelievable. So, bishop takes, this is a horrifying move. Bishop takes b8. And like DK guy said, this is apparently the best move. Before I had played f5, the e5 square is not weak. So, it's true. I can't afford to play. I thought I could play with my king on d6, but this is the way I've got to do it. With the knight there, and not playing f5 to weaken the e5 square. Well, you didn't play fast enough, that's the problem. Alright, DK guy. You think he rushed? No. Arsenal? Losing a game because he played too fast? No one's ever done that before. I've never been guilty of that. Usually I'm really, really careful when I'm playing higher rated players, though. I can be doing stuff like that against lower rated players. That I understand. I see a lot of people underestimate the lower rated opponents. But I don't normally see people underestimating higher rated opponents. That's not so common. I've got to play more d4 and e4. Well, again, it's like he was playing 3+0 the whole game. That's what I said. The entire game, it feels like white was playing 3-0, no increment. I would guess if he was playing 3-0 and he can play like that, he would be like 2300, probably. You should just stick to 3+0 and always play that time control arsenal, and you should be easily over 2200. The increment is terrible for this pace that you're playing. You should absolutely play sudden death rated games. You don't need increment. You didn't need it at all. What are you talking about? You totally like decimate me on time if you played without increment. You don't even know where the tank is. Give me a break. Bishop h4. Of course, I play differently. Mr. Donkey. Mr. Donkey thrived on grinding people down in ultra-long games. Of course. Still think he ripped me off on my coin collection. Alright, but anyway. Gotta make the money. You gotta make the money. Gotta make a profit. Even Mr. Donkey has to make a profit. Anyway. 82 seconds on your longest move. What move was that? When did you spend 82 seconds on one move? Knight e5. Harry Nelson Pillsbury. Butcher of Boston. I just made that up. The good old Tartakover. Stockfish says this position is like plus 0.01 for black. I had a game against Oro Chandrash 2 years ago in the Budapest Team Championship, and after the game when I analyzed it, the computer claims this is slightly better for black, but I don't know. I mean, I've never lost a single game in this variation. I'm not surprised that c4 was the engine choice, Arsenal fan. In fact, I was actually thinking that myself. At first it looks insane, but when you follow it up with knight c3, it ends up being like crushing. I didn't appreciate how strong, the next move is. It's like, okay, c4, no big deal, and then it just like piles on with knight c3 and black and just implodes. The move like that, you don't need an engine. It's just the best move. It's not an engine move. It's just the best move, period, that puts the most pressure on black's position. Superficially, it looks like it would be weakening for white's king, and that's why I thought it was crazy when I first saw it. But if there's nothing there, there's nothing there for black against the white king, and black's just getting mauled. I realized too late that I'm getting crushed. But it was all based on my decision to put my king on d6, as pointed out by our esteemed viewers. Not a good idea. I guess I should put my rook on b1. Maybe not. Maybe it's not necessary. Let's go here. Most people prefer queen d6. That's the most common. Yeah, I think a lot of people would have dismissed c4 on general grounds, on the superficial level. But it looks incredibly strong. In retrospect, I'm not having very much fun today. Is this a good move? Not really sure. Black's creeping forward. I think it also depends on your mental state and how tired or energized you are. If you have a lot of energy and you feel good, I think a 3-0 is pretty easy to play. But if you start feeling like lethargic and tired, then some slower time control like 5+3 be better. If you're constantly caffeinated. So b5. We must do this. And it may be too late to completely contain all of black's counterplay. Rook c1 and rook d1. Not in this Tartakover. I prefer my rooks here in the center. But now we've got a kind of weird situation. Okay, knight c4 is certainly going to happen. Likely to happen soon. At least he can't put more pressure on my b4 directly with any queen d6 or something like that. You don't get the feeling that DK guy is playing this on a regular basis. Maybe he is, maybe this is just a line he doesn't know very well. This bishop c8 looks appropriate. But I have no idea of how good my position really is. Am I like just better with space, or am I overextended? Bishop c8 looks best. Bishop c8, then threatening bishop g4. Perhaps I don't have to fear that. If the g-file were to open, would I have a very strong attack on the king side? Blackburn would play like bishop c8, king h1. And if bishop g4, h3... Now this is getting serious. He's got this connection down here. That was my last chance to take on c4. I mean, obviously it's a move. Now my queen side is going to implode. I don't know what I can do about it. I mean, ironically, like another move I didn't consider was a4. And it might not be that bad. But I feel like now we're just all in, giving up the queen side and going for the king side. Knight e2 is also interesting, migrating. The Great Migration. It's looking like it was a totally different opening, like the Open Roy Lopez or something. His one shot is a5. Pretty effective. But I have knight f4 and sack on g6. So this, but I'm not threading anything. Am I threading like e6? Yeah, it looks like his counterplay is pretty significant. Just calmly refuting everything. That's your suggestion from last game. His suggestion. What am I going to do about it? Wow. How am I going to get rid of that knight on e4? The answer is you're not. Two connect pass pawns should be winning. Not a very convincing game by me, though. It's still not over. Hoppa. Careful now. The queen and knight combination is pretty deadly. Yeah, I just forgot that I take with the queen. Thought he had perpetual. Queen takes. But what about knight takes h3? Does that work? I could trade queens with queen e5 check. Probably white is winning. This chat pausing has got to stop. Jim, thanks for the donation. 100 plus 20. No, I don't think black can defend here. Knight f3 was the best move. No, you had a good position. I thought this was cool. b5. Original interpretation. I don't know why you waited so long to play a5, or you didn't play a5 finally. You know, I mean, that's your key counterplay. I think I should have probably not allowed it, you know, or tried to slow it down with something like a4 myself previously. All right, further subscribers, Imre, Barty, and Zell Poker. We'll play the non-subscribers, Morwa and Asmir after. So I've got to really play better. I don't know. That was a really dubious game. Even at the end, he was probably better at some point. Instead of a6, rook b8 has never been played, but it seems to enable c5. Arsenal fan, what are you talking about? Rook b8. In the game just now? Oh, against him? Rook b8. That's weird. a6 is an unusual plan. Usually black is playing a5 in the early going. That's the standard approach. So it was weird for me to see a6 too, but for a different reason. Because almost all my opponents have played a5, kind of a standard plan there. This is interesting. Almost never played. The one tournament where I almost made a GM norm, this was the one game where I lost, where someone did this against me. Ended up costing me. But I just like transposed to the normal Mora. I looked at this with the engine, and it says black is just a clear pawn up, but you know, I don't know if it's better to take the pawn on b2. There's almost no games where this has been played. At least in the lichess opening explorer. Almost no games where bishop c4 is actually played by anyone. I don't know where people come up with this. There must be like gambit, secret gambit opening databases or something. Oh, I'm thinking I'm playing the Sicilian. I'm crazy. This is not a Mora. It's the Danish gambit. How crazy is that? I'm hallucinating that I'm playing c5. Oh my god. I hallucinated that I played c5. This is literally the Danish gambit. Okay. So I made a mistake. Can I just transpose? Normally you take on b2 first. Yeah, I was hallucinating. I played the Sicilian for some reason. It's funny. I'm playing a lot more Sicilian than e5, so when I see this, I'm like, oh, it's Sicilian. cb2, bishop b2. So bishop d5, cb2, bishop f7, king f7, queen d8, a1 queen. That's probably good for me. So we should probably transpose. Bishop takes d5, c takes b2, bishop b2, knight f6. Yeah, that's the line. And I don't think this is black's best line. Even though this variation is widely recommended in some books. Someone on Sound, one of our subscribers, is an expert on this opening, and I don't know what he thinks, but I'm getting a new queen on a8 at the cost of a rook. That doesn't seem right. Padron Antoni, how are you? How's the coronavirus situation? Everyone in Hungary is like paranoid. Yesterday, one of my teammates came wearing a mask. He's like, the virus is in Italy. We're gonna get it. We have a lot of people, I guess, in Hungary who are working and going back and forth from Hungary to Italy a lot. So if you guys get an outbreak of virus there, it's like almost 100% it will happen here. Doesn't bishop b4 refute the Danish? No. I don't think there's any refutation of the Danish. I have to check out the Larry Evans idea, cooking the Danish. It sounds good if you're a cannibal or something, but I don't think they would appreciate it. What is going on here? There's the knight e5 is under control. There's just knight g5, but I can play king g6. Then he'll have queen e8. So some combination of knight g5 and queen e8 with a mate likely to follow. If I were to do nothing here or something irrelevant like queen takes b1. Not even sure if this is a good move objectively. Though maybe I could play just like king e2, bishop b4. Well, I just don't know. It also depends on where this virus is. Imagine what it would do like in Africa, someplace where the infrastructure is not so good compared to, a Western country. I'm not so sure about the health infrastructure here in Hungary to deal with this kind of thing. I don't think it's going to be too good. So king e2. And, well, bishop g4 comes to mind. Queen a2 check would enable knight e5. But now he has discoveries on my queen. I don't understand like the 3 mile queues in Korea to buy masks. I mean, you can make your own mask, It's funny how people, this like total sort of panic behavior. I mean, a mask isn't really the issue. I mean, I think you can make your own like creative mask. 2 mile queues to get paper masks seem pretty insane. I don't know. Do you have room for another challenge? We do. I mean, I'm playing until 1:30. So I've got challenges from Zel Poker, Marwa, Asmir. I feel like I just blundered. King e8, rook d1. Now maybe he has bishop g5 on his mind. Obviously there's queen takes b7, but I have no idea what's going on. Right, Arsenal fan, but those things didn't spread like this. I mean, they remained relatively contained. 3% is pretty scary, dude, to be honest with you. It's not hard to be in 3%. It's a lot easier than winning the lotto. Yeah, exactly. I mean, for kids or for older people. I'm almost an old person, so it starts to get scary. For you, it's easy. But when you're almost old, like me, I don't know how much the old immune system can take anymore. What's up here? Queen b7. I actually have queen a2 check. But he has maybe knight d2, preventing knight c4. All right. Develop the pieces. That's easy enough. Now he can play like knight d2, queen b2. White's down a rook. Yeah, I never considered that, exchanging queens with queen a6. But he prevented queen a2. Looks lost for White. Your queen a6 ideas are becoming viable, but there's really no need. Yeah, I mean, knight d7 is also playable, but White went astray. Every game, I never have any fun. My opponents always have the initiative. Guess I need to change the opening repertoire. I don't know. It's hard to get the initiative against the Danish gambit, though. It's like the refutation of e4, e5. White just plays d4. I hate it. Morales plays that. Summon Unsound. I'll be really well prepared for the next time one of my tournament opponents plays the Danish gambit. I don't know, man. This virus thing is scary here for us in Hungary. When my mom died last year, I had brought her over to Hungary, and I mean, she got basically pneumonia and didn't last too long in the hospital here. I just don't think they have the infrastructure to properly care for thousands of people with pneumonia. I was in the Hungarian hospitals, and it's not going to be pretty if there's a major contagion. We just trade pieces. Right, I mean, anyone over 80 is super vulnerable to pneumonia, but I'm just saying, I'm talking more in the perspective of, like, you know, what kind of care, like, the medical system here, you know, has the capacity to provide, and I just don't, you know, it's not like they don't have the money like in the West. I mean, I don't think that they're going to be able to deal with it too well in the medical system. All right. So, yeah, probably, like, nobody could have saved my mom being 80, 86 with Alzheimer's and pneumonia, but I was just talking about how much they can do here. If there was, like, a major pandemic or something, it would be overwhelming for the Hungarian healthcare system. Morwa, Excel Poker. All right, Excel Poker is a subscriber. And that's it. And then we'll play the rest of the players we can get to. That was crazy. It already went too far. I mean, I switched up the move order in the opening by not playing pawn takes b2, though. And then they tried to do bishop takes f7, but I don't think they should do bishop takes f7 there. Benoni is called, no, Cell Poker's too strong. I only play the Benoni on special occasions. Please, he's like begging. No, too late. The old Indian. Arsenal's other favorite opening. No. No. It's not. Now I have to do really old Indian or King's Indian. You want me to play Benoni? It's still not too late. I was expecting white to play h3, like everybody plays h3. But I'm not going to go into those closed positions with h3, e5. If I face that, it just sort of sucks. That's why the Makhaganav system is so popular. On paper, the statistics are so good for white. But black has other more flexible options, probably. I think I had this in Blitz against Walter Brown in Las Vegas, circa 1996. But I can't remember. Bishop g5, queen e8. I lost eventually. It was just a Blitz game. Somehow the position seems different. It must have been like he played 92. That was it. He must have played 92 now. But I would assume white has several choices here. This is another move. Doesn't really leave me with many choices. I guess I have to go to h6. Oh, that loses a piece. WTF. So he somehow turns it into a Makhaganav system anyway. That doesn't seem like a good idea for black. So we go Kasparov style and start sacrificing pieces or something. I had an absolutely atrocious game in the Hungarian Team Championship, the Budapest Team Championship 2 years ago against the 2100. I had clearly worse and offered a draw, and he took it. In a position something like this. I never would get a position this bad normally, with no counterplay. I don't want to play the King's Indian if I have to play this stupid position, where white can do g4 and like prevent any kind of kingside attack. I would just not play this opening if you're forced to play this kind of position. He already has 50% against me in 4 games. Arsenal always makes everything sound so easy. Can't you just? Of course. Everything is easy. It's like the Lego movie. I think I did something like that even made it worse. No. No, I don't think that's going to work here. Kasparovian. Sounds like a movie. No, you have to watch out for knight b5. I don't like castles queenside, but I guess it's okay. That doesn't seem necessary for white to declare himself right away. Sort of all or nothing like that. I feel like he should have just kept his options open. Maybe played b4. Well, theoretically, if you can lock down the kingside with that, with f6, g5, that kind of thing. I mean, I've done things like that, but it can lead to unpleasant positions too. I mean, it doesn't mean I can never play f5, you know. Just because I'm not playing it in the first 10 moves. Like, this still might be a strong move. Just because it opens the g file doesn't mean it's automatically good for white. I mean, there's many cases when it still might be strong. Usually it is strong for white, but I guess now we have to do f6. Now we're talking about locking down the lockdown. Now black is better, but not sure I can break through. Maybe a4 is a mistake. We need to be able to open up the queen side 100%. We've got b5, but not automatically, actually. This could be a very hard struggle. The rook is misplaced. Virtually no way for white to win. Only black has a chance to win. And knight b3, knight d4. But, you know, if it's like a computer, I'm sure this is a draw. We have to be able to get in, which means we have to break. Could be a very long endgame. Trying to engineer something here. But maybe I should play b5 at this point. Yeah, I don't know if I can break through. I mean, it's slightly better for black, but I think if it's like a computer playing white, it's almost certainly going to hold. Rook c3, and then you're threatening c5. So if I have to play b6, my structure will become a lot less flexible. Bring my king all the way over to the queen side. It's a draw, probably. Black can try to win, but you know, it's too blocked. A human can lose it for white, but probably not a computer. That bad bishop for white, it's a typical, like, bad Marazzi type position. All right, more Wa. Let's play the b3, the Blobix system. Play the blob. Here, I don't know. It's got to be a Blobix variation. What do we do about queen b6? I can't afford to sacrifice a pawn. Budapest reverted. They're reverted. No. What am I supposed to do here? I don't know. That's such a surprisingly strong move by black. A4, then you take? But still. You need to know all the tricks, like Blobix. He doesn't want it. I played positions similar to this, but nothing quite. I used to do like 2 knights with bishop d3 against the French, which is sort of similar. That's a surprising move. He doesn't even have very much pressure on e5. Yeah, this is extremely weakening, what I did, but we got to do something. So he's going to castle queenside. 30 seconds, he just adapts perfectly. Knight g4 and knight h6. No problem. It's sort of unbelievable how strong he became recently. Not just fast, but extremely strong too. I don't know what there is to think about here. He wants to castle queenside. He's thinking about castling queenside. What options do you have? That's surprising. I actually thought it's safer to castle on the other side, probably. Huh. Now it's a very blocked position. C4 arsenal, I don't know, man. I don't think that's healthy. You mean C4 for black? Whoops. Very limited time. D4. I really don't know what to do. Where to put my king. There is really no good place to put my king. It's the problem with my position. No safe haven. Casting queenside not possible because of A5. Wow. What? What? Instantly played bishop takes f6. Sort of incredible how strong he is. Terrifying. Based on the speed, now suddenly there's a different plan. Wow. This is crazy. I don't have the time I need here to play this position properly. Playing too fast. C7 check. He has rook d4 there. If I try to play king d6, I'm not sure that works. Maybe I had c7 check and king b6. Okay, missed it. Yeah, I didn't see king b6. That idea hadn't occurred to me, going here. But I think this is winning. I mean, it's irrelevant which way you do it, A or B. It was check, but it's equally lethal. Lethal is lethal. Bad time management. He's actually winning that ending, probably. Or very close to it. I mean, the rook takes d3 check. This... Right here, this is a killer pawn. His rook's active. And my only chance is my active king in c6. So if he plays like king c7 here, promise he might lose a mess of pawns on the 7th rank. Yet he remains with this very strong pawn on d4, so I don't know. I'm curious what the engine says. King c7 plus 2. White is maybe lost. Very, very, very much hanging on by a thread in this position. If black plays king c7 there. I'm still defending now. But you just should take. He went from almost winning to drawing to lost by just ignoring my threats. The only way in. I've got 9 challenges. That's not happening. I have to go in 45 minutes. So please don't anybody else challenge me. These guys at the end, I'm never going to get to these challenges. Rated, I don't do. So, sorry guys. I can't play, more than like probably 3 more games. Well, I think Arsenal fan, you'll find that when you look at that position, I mean, the only hope is what I did, to activate the king. Uber driver probably knows. The famous rook endgame, Tartakover, black against Capablanca, where Capablanca penetrated with like king h4, king h4, king g5 in a rook ending, and won. Different, but similar in a way. The problem was the time. Like, I knew what I was doing was bad, but I had to make a move, so I went into that crappy ending, which was basically almost lost. So the Grunfeld defense. We played yesterday against Zen. No, it was Zen was here today. Good to see him. But same variation, oddly. Yesterday against Alms. Now I remember, Alms plays the Richard Palliser d4 repertoire, which is recommended in his book 1d4, but I never really had a very... I mean, I've also tried to play bishop g5 with white, but it's just not that good. Serwan famously drew Kasparov. Wasn't it a draw? Serwan, Kasparov, bishop g5, Grunfeld. So bishop f4, huh? No, of course. I had to play knight e4, Arsenal. Rook f1 was a blunder. I had him pinned, and I could have played knight e4. Terrible. He's just playing too fast. Too much bullet chess. Morwa has been playing mostly bullet chess. It's not good. But I don't know. He's a kid, and that's what kids do. They don't listen to their elders. I don't remember what you're supposed to do here. It's like a bishop f4, but he's lost the tempo. I guess I have to play knight takes c3, like there's no other move. It's sort of sad. This is actually a really solid move, bishop f4. I mean, d takes c4 is probably a move. Castles is a move. Can I sacrifice my c7 pawn? Well, it's not really under threat. I don't need to play it yet. Why don't we just castle? Obviously, c5 is the big Grunfeld move, but it's not that effective when they have this very solid structure with, like, you know, e3, c3, f2. It's not like you can really undermine their center very easily. This move looks ridiculously slow. You know, I think that's got to be a mistake for white. To take time to play h3 here seems really wasteful. I'm not even considering bishop g4. Now, queen b3 is probably theory. Well, not theory because of h3. I mean, this position without h3 would be totally normal. Something like e3. Now he just dropped a pawn for nothing. Maybe it's a mouse slip. He probably meant to play e3. Just dropped a piece. Too much bullet chess. Learning chess 1200. We've played from Antarctica. Well, it's good we're having global warming. That'll help you a little bit. Bone atrophy. Pi Day Russian Alpha Zero knew from the simul the other day. Strange malfunction. Q bitterness. You're familiar with that? Lots of Qs in the UK. Actually, I hate the supermarket here in Budapest. There's no express lane in the Spar supermarket. There's really long queues with no express lanes. Okay, it's not like we don't have lines in America too, but queuing. You're not chat banned anymore. I can't imagine you getting chat banned. What did you do? Like, assault one of your opponents? Verbally assault one of your opponents for beating you or something? G6. I like that. G6, 95, 95, D4. Good suggestion. Well, let's try the 4 knights defense. The mod said I definitely deserved the ban. So you appealed, of course. What did your lawyer say? Arsenal has never done a bad thing in his life. The alcohol made him do it. The dog ate it. 50 Shades defense. What was your concept? Here we go. Well, I don't really understand how Sargon is a moderator. Because as far as I know, I don't think the lichess he seems like kind of a troll. I mean, I don't understand how he would be a moderator, but anyway, just constantly rude comments in forums and stuff. Doesn't seem like it would qualify you as a good moderator. They must be desperate. Not that many people want to volunteer to be moderators on an online chess site, And then you get these like power hungry people who just want to like power over others. But Ludlas seems like a really normal person. Maybe snide, but sensible, Just my opinion. I think it's a prerequisite to be snide. Snide is cool. Well, you don't know snide. Bishop b5. Okay, so bishop d3 is the main move. I think this is good for white. Have to be pretty cool to unban you. Last game, white c6. Black takes c6 and still ahead. Yeah, well, I don't think it's surprising. We were just looking at that after the game, Falkbeer. Briefly. Even with my great king position, I'm probably going to be like down a pawn or something. My intuition was that white can just about barely hang on. I mean, that's the best I can do, Did you get your psychologist to send him a note or something about your diagnosis? Probably he can get you off the hook. D4. Note from the doctor. Where's the knight going? I'm sure Bob would have an opinion. Says I'm crazy. All right. Bishop e4 check. King f1. The queen g5, like the... Yeah. Yeah, that might be like in the Schliemann. Unfortunately, I don't have good recollection of this, if I've even looked at it. Is he losing a knight here? Knight down. Queen e6, queen h5 check, g6. Knight takes. Oh, he's not losing a knight there. But it is a really nasty potential exchange sacrifice. Queen e6, queen h5 check. Several different versions of exchange sacrifices here. You could do king e7. Knight g6 check, take, and then take on c4. And I don't know if you believe in God, but White's position is going to need some sort of divine intervention after that. Unfortunately, the classic trick of G6 doesn't work. But I'm liking this exchange sacrifice. Unfortunately, it might not quite be that clear. Queen h5, check g6, takes, queen takes h8, queen takes c4. I'm sorry, yeah, that's right. Queen takes c4. Oh man, he's getting like viciously mated in some lines. Bishop d2, bishop a6. I'm talking about making an illegal move, right? That's a problem. I didn't say that. My bishop's still on f8. I could play queen h5, king e7, but that blocks my bishop. So it feels like I have to do... Honestly, even the ending after g6, queen f7, knight f4. Queen h5, knight h5. That's probably better for white. Yeah, he's a pawn up. So it's queen h5 check, g6, take, queen h8, and then queen c4. Oh, he's seeing it all. 1200, by the way. I'm going to have a problem. Wait, there's bishop e4 check first. Does that help? Does that help or hurt our cause? It doesn't seem to help. It might hurt. Okay, where are his potential king-queen moves? He has queen f6. Blinds everything. Fortunately for him, he's not getting mated. I'm a little skeptical about learning chess being 1200. So what's the deal here? White's winning? Queen e4? Exceedingly dangerous. I mean, even queen f7 there. I'm not sure I would find it in time pressure. Queen e4, bishop e4, bishop e2, rook d8. I was looking at queen f7. That's apparently a huge mistake. Yeah, he has bishop there. So I have to find like perfect moves. This is a very hard move to find. This is more realistic. And then here. Unbelievable. So apparently queen g5 is the best move. This was even played by Bosiocic in 2013. It just feels better to centralize your queen on d5. Yeah, queen g5 is stronger. So bishop a6 was played, but f6 is the strongest move according to the engine. The Croatian grandmaster couldn't meet my level of dynamism here with the f6 novelty. c4 though. Apparently I'm supposed to play bishop check and allow him to go to f1. So if bishop e4 check, bishop d2, queen d4, what is that the point? I just take? Ah, and now he's lost because his knight is really trapped. And then I can play like bishop a6. It's still not 100% clear. But I wondered about my sacrifice with queen h5. Wow, king e7 blocking my own bishop. It's a draw by repetition according to the computer. King e7, queen h4, king e8, queen h5, king e7. So this is the only attempt to win, and apparently unsound. Somewhat unsound. He must have missed something really strong here. So this is the mistake. You should just take. Always take. I'm a move too late. All right, bone atrophy and Pi Day. It was fun, but not sound. It was romantic. Yeah, but if you want to play the Italian game, you shouldn't be playing knight c3. That's all. Bishop d3 is like a draw variation in that line. I played knight b4 before, but I'm not sure how good it is. In honor of Blabix, we've got to improve on our game with Morois. The e6 here was what he played, right? This also makes sense for black. Looks like a good move. I'm trying to kind of broaden my opening repertoire. Maybe bishop b5 doesn't make sense anymore. You got to do something, though. Am I going to just trade off that piece? What's my big idea? After bishop d7. I guess e5 could happen. No. Not happening. Remember the stream from a long time ago. Time doesn't pass too quickly for me. Actually, it does. I don't know where the last 10 years went. Lost them. If you found them, let me know. Oh, the exact same idea as last time. Small world. So a4, a6, a5, queen b5, knight c3, traps his queen, right? a4, a6, a5, queen b5, knight c3, queen b4, rook a4. So it's a little better than the opening with Morois. On a5, he probably has to retreat back, queen c7. And at least I get a bind on the queen side. Arsenal's word for the day. The word for the day is this even good? Probably not. Black playing very solid. Queen b6 is never solid, but seems to be popular. I don't know about this. I don't like it anymore. Okay, a6, bishop c6, a6, knight c4, queen c7, bishop c6, bishop c6. Now he's threatening dual threats. Dueling threats. Now what? Knight c4. Okay. Then I have to play like... I would never trade my dark square bishop unless I have a damn good reason. You're going to have to give me a really good reason to do that. Maybe f3 here, ironically, is a good move. Rather than d3, I can actually break in the center with d4. The Hun Fin. An expert in language connections between Hungarian and Finnish. So f3, a6, bishop c6, bishop c6, knight e2, e5. Probably we have to play d4 before it's too late. Speaking of d4 before it's too late, now he's got d4 before it's too late. That sucks. Fin Hun. What if I do knight e2, just challenge the strong horse? Now if e5, you've given up the d5 square. White is slightly better. This is all new to me. I'm totally just trying this b3 Sicilian with white. I need something like I can go to as a sort of side variation when I don't feel like playing maybe like an open Sicilian. So I think it's a good... I mean, I faced it a lot. It's okay. It's not great. It's not bad. b3. We have an adult in the room? Is that a rumor or a fact? The adult in the room. Black's development is starting to look kind of shaggy. What's work? Please define. Have fun. Don't think of it as work. That's your first mistake. There's no such thing as work, only fun. It's all in the attitude. And suddenly Black's development looks suspect. The usual suspect. Magnus Carlsen-y. Queen d5. a very unpleasant endgame at best for black here. Weakness on d6, weakness on a7. Lack of development, d5 square. It's like my best game so far. I think black is like lost. Probably lost. Castles, bishop e7, rook d1. He gets away. What about an endgame like queen a5? Queen e5, queen e5, rook a5. Just merciless. Sort of low risk policy. No fun ever. It's also like a good defender I'm trading off. I don't think there's any chance of black surviving this. He's dead in the water. Today you're going to a coal mine to inspect 150-year-old elevator. Oh snap, that's awesome. That is cool. I hope you've got a good life insurance policy. All right. Anyway. Always pleasant thoughts here. Damn it, you have that? Knight b6? No. No, no, no. Not cool. Not really. Bishop a3. I mean, I wasn't sure about what move? Queen d5, rook b8, bishop a3. What does that win by force? Yeah. Yeah, and bishop a3 is terminal too. Maybe better. Yeah, maybe that's just better. Terminal 2. Even less chances for survival there. We got time for one more game. The Blobik system. Uh-oh. Here comes bishop h6. Now that's annoying. That's very annoying. He has legit counterplay with bishop h6. Yeah, I don't think this is that good. Just wasting time. h4, h5 maybe. Yeah, I don't know. Okay, knight c4, probably not a good move. Hollow threat. He must have had better than that. It actually helps me to redeploy. Though, wait. Yeah, it's probably all right. Must consolidate. Pretty solid. Pretty solid. And yeah, this is not good for the second player. Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Oh no. Mercilessly. Yeah, the defense. Maybe not e7. All right. You survived for a pretty long time there. Last game for today. Looks like. Oh, Hunfin. I've got to go at 1:30, so maybe like next time, Wednesday, we'll play. If you can come by, guys, I've got to go after this game. Appreciate the challenge. We'd love to play, especially against stronger players. It's like your master. All right, the Geller Gambit for something fun and slightly unsound. I've been playing this since my infancy, but at some point, I don't think it's quite good enough. Russian Alpha Zero, no. Somebody has to be the bubble, There's always a bubble. The housing bubble, poker bubbles. A6 looks solid. What do I do now? Try to keep pressure on black's position. I think that's all you can do. B4, knight B1. B3, queen takes C4. That's okay. The B3, the big question is, can you play B3 without allowing protected passer? Problem is B3, B4. Knight moves away and then C3, and you're basically permanently screwed. Very few situations where that is actually okay for white to allow B4, C3 with protected pass pawn. So I find it hard to generate play in this gambit. E5 was my old kind of go-to plan, but it's not looking very good here. E5, knight D5, knight E4. He should be able to wiggle his way out. We'll give it a shot, though. I mean, I don't really have a better idea. Maybe one first. Maybe my knight shouldn't be there. I don't know. We're going to try this. Now, he might play knight d7. I doubt that, though. It's going to have to play. He's going to have to play this. Then we try to play b3. And I was actually just going over one of my teammates' games. How? I don't know how. I don't remember where I saw it, but maybe one of my teammates, when I was preparing for an opponent yesterday, had played a game. I've played many games like this, basically. Sacking a pawn for long-term compensation. Very common in like the Catalan. If black gets in c5, you're basically scrambling for anything. But he can't really play c5 yet. Bishop a3, b4, unfortunately. It would also misplace my bishop. So normally the routine is this. And something like rook f c1. And I don't know if I have enough compensation or not. But common gambit situation. Our pieces are fairly active, but we're down a pawn. May the better player win. You know, he could play c5, even if it was sacrificing a pawn, he would free himself and equalize. Interesting idea is like knight d6. There's also this. So I'm not sure. I mean, I've done this since time immemorial, this sort of thing. But it's really not that clear that white can break through. I used to love to play this type of gambit against weaker players, like anyone sub 2100. But against stronger masters, you start running into trouble. The last couple times I played such lines didn't end well. You love it strategically simply for the effect on the light square bishop. Yeah, I mean, that's basically it. A large part of it. But the problem is, like, we're limited in what we can do here on out. You know, can I magically, like, lift my rook over here or something? And assault black on the king side? Or in many cases I've played positions like this with like rook on h1, h4, and I was able to lift my rook. h4, rook g3. h4 could be a useful move. If black has no counterplay, I mean, rook h3, rook g3. He's floundering. He's a flounder. Floundering and foundering. I love these bishops. You know, they have like maximum theoretical potential. But there isn't that much to do. The deadly plan is yet to come. Yeah. See, now you're giving away the deadly plan. Plan of death. That's what I'm trying to set up with h5. Eventuality. He's defending his e6 with this move, queen d7. So that will, see, that will enable him to play f5. And then we're in the twilight zone. Interesting possibilities of taking on b5. Doesn't look like it leads anywhere. Now I don't know which way he takes. This isn't forced. I could allow the pawn to stay there. Rook a3 never materialized. Like he wanted to do a rook sack, possibly. But I thought bishop takes was a safer capture. Much safer. Ultimately, like, he ends up with his target here. If I can keep him at bay, you know, long enough, we should be able to bear down on that. Mix that in with kingside threats, and Wade has good chances to win. Sorry guys, this is my last game for today. At least it was fun. Not easy to transfer my queen and this rook over here. If my other rook were over here on like e1, we'd be really happy. I guess we have time. I can't drop c5 though. That's got to be vitally important. Now he can correct his mistake and play like bishop f6 next move. So life is not easy. Timeout. We called the timeout with rook c2. Pretty kind of lame move, actually. Because I don't know what to do. That was awkward. And black's in the game. There's the bishop. I don't know if I'm actually threatening anything. I haven't checked lately. I have an idea. The Grinch that stole Christmas. Oh, well that changes the calculations somewhat. All right. I'm going to have to take that. A mere distractionary tool. Material is equal now. Looks really good. It's not mate. Queen check and rook takes. He's still got defense. Bishop takes h6. I don't know. I guess it's not defensible. Oh my god, it is. What? Yeah, I was looking at this, but I didn't think it was okay. Bishop e6. So I take, and you have perpetual. He's starting perpetual, unbelievably. There's no win. So bishop a2 is a blunder. I had to play check, knight g8. I didn't think there would be a difference. I forgot I had bishop h7. Oh my god. So bishop a2 is just like the worst move in the world. That's kind of brutal. Whoops. Alright, well, not the best move order. The concept was good. Winning everything. I was winning the queen? When? Like immediately? Oh, I'm just winning the queen? I'm winning the queen, yeah. You're such a materialist, Bobix. I forgot the queen was... It's not mate, you know? Anyway. It was interesting. Thank you guys for joining me. And we'll be back on Wednesday. Actually, we'll be back tomorrow. I'm sorry. We've got our subscriber... Never mind. We've got our tournament, our weekly tournament on Tuesday. It's Blitz this week. We didn't do Blitz 5+3. Tuesday 6:30. Tomorrow night 6:30 p.m. CET here. It is the Tuesday Blitz Arena. Thanks, guys. I'll see you then. Have a great time. Have a great rest of your day. Thanks, Mr. Coffee, for being our moderator. Thanks, Mr. Blubix. Take care, guys. Bye-bye. Nice mate. Bye-bye.